We're live. Hi, everyone.
Hi guys.
It's Rick with you, Jet with you, and we have a special guest with us tonight. Yeah, it's not tonight yet, but Frankie and Cohen have joined us from Netherlands. They are actually in Ukraine now, and they're on their mission. Their mission is to bring. Hi, everyone. Oh, sorry.
Hi guys.
It's Rick with you. I'm hearing myself. Sorry, it interrupted me a bit, but yeah, they are on a mission to on the humanitarian voluntary mission to provide Ukrainians with free food. They've been on this mission for a year already, and they are a huge friends of Ukraine. I actually think that they are amazing people, and I'm really glad to meet them. And I'm really glad to see them here today and to, do this stream together. I'm super excited. So I would like to. Yeah, guys are actually in Ukraine right now. They are on the next stage of their mission this week. They're gonna be in some towns and cities, but I want them to talk about it themselves. So, Frankie, Colin, if you want to add something that I missed, and yeah, extend this, please.
Well, first, thank you for having us. Yes, it's kind of true. We started 1 year ago on the Polish-Ukrainian border by giving away fries and snacks to Ukrainian people crossing the border. And after that, we went to several locations in the Ukraine. This is in total our 10th trip. Last trip was in Irpin, Bucha, Borodyanka, Gostomel, but also in Izum and in different locations, Fastiv and so on and so on. So yes, it's not the first time we are here, and yeah, we are very happy to be here and to do something for the Ukrainian people.
We're really grateful to you guys. I can say from all Ukrainian people.
Thank you
so much.
So maybe you want to add something else?
Well, there's a lot to tell, but well, firstly, we think, of course, we are completely behind the Ukraine. There's no doubt about it, and we've seen with our own eyes the emotions from the people here, and we've seen what happened. We have seen the destroyed buildings, and we've been in all the locations. But well, in Kievsky Oblast, what have been occupied by the Russians. We've seen what damage have been made. We have seen the tears in the eyes from so many people. So we are emotional involved, and we're really, really happy to be able to do something. So
yeah, guys, thank you
that's
for
amazing.
This is really amazing, and I also want to give the word to Jet, and maybe he wants to ask something.
Yeah, I just was kind of curious as to how the mission started. What was the moment that it started? How did you guys get going on this humanitarian mission?
That's a good question.
Yeah, it started with me. I think Kun will jump in soon to explain from his side. But it started because my wife is Ukrainian.
Okay.
So my family-in-law is partly living in Ukraine. We wanted to do something for them. That our plans in the beginning were not possible to do. We wanted to take them to the Netherlands. It didn't go through. So we had the feeling we have to do something. As we both have small fast food restaurants in the Netherlands, and I also have a mobile food truck, which was at that moment standing still. I thought, you know what, I'm going to do something for the Ukrainians. Let's go to the border. So I called Koen. He's already one of my best friends for about 20 years. And I said, Koen, I'm going to the Polish-Ukrainian border to give away fries and snacks. What do you think about it?
Yeah, that was at that moment was, whoa, okay. What do I do about it? I tell him, keep me a half hour. But it was not half hour, it was 5 minutes later. And say, okay, which. And that was the starting from the idea. to go to the border. And day after we sit down, we talk about what you do, what he does, and 5 days later we are standing at the border in Plymouth by an old Tesco shop
near the Medica border. And we started with a very, very small budget. We started with 4,000 euros of our own money in the beginning, so 2,000 from both of us to buy some fries and some snacks. A lot of snacks we got for free though. So we went to the border, and when we came there, the first moment I will never ever forget, because normally if you work on a market and you sell food, you have competition with other people who sell food. When we came there were also a few food trucks, but these people were not looking kind of to us like, oh, one more is coming, but they were really cheering us that we came there. And when we arrived in Sandwich near the Medica border, when we came there, in about, I think, half an hour after that we came there, we were open. Everybody was helping us because we were not well organized. We didn't think about a lot of things.
No generator.
Electricity was a problem. If you live in the Netherlands, you plug in somewhere and that's all. So our neighbors helped us. A lot of volunteers from all over the world. Directly beside us,
Continue, please.
Directly beside us, there was a guy from Germany. He was giving away bratwurst, so typical sausage from Germany. On the other side were people from India giving Indian vegan food. They were vegans and they were from India, where they were from
Really nice guys.
Really nice guys.
Okay, we're losing connection a bit.
Yeah,
Just started, so we had a few tents.
You guys are back, but we lost you again. Okay, while Frank and Koen are out, but they're gonna be back right now, I'm sure of it. Their internet connection is not perfect.
They're on hotel Wi-Fi at the moment. So
they're on hotel Wi-Fi. They're on the move. Once we don't have them with us for a minute or two, I really like to say thank you for coming today, guys. I see 33 people. It's a great number of you guys. Number of people.
Thank you everybody for coming.
Thank you very much. Please give this video a like so YouTube will push it up and show it to more people. Because what Frankie and Koen is doing is just amazing, and we really like to see them here today. Okay, I see them coming back to us.
Hey guys.
Okay, I've lost them for a second. I'm changing some stuff. Yeah, sorry, I just need to get you back there,
you just
Jet.
have to adjust it on the stream.
Yeah, just a second. Collab, okay. Okay. Yes, guys, we have you back.
Is good.
Nice.
So I don't know until what you got. Yes. So I don't know what part you did here until what part you did here.
I guess you finished on a vegan food.
Yeah, the last we heard was you were talking about the Indian vegan food. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so there were some more people giving away food, but nobody was well organized. As the war, well, this part of the war, I'm not talking about the earlier occupied locations, but this part of the war was just started. So that a lot of refugees were coming into Poland. It was new, so nobody was well organized. But altogether, we came through it, and we saw so many people with so high emotions. We've seen old people who have been traveling 5-6 days to get away from their location to the western side of the border, and they showed us videos from what happened to their houses and to their animals, and some people told about losses of family and friends.
They leave the dogs behind.
Yeah,
that's stories. That's
Yeah, guys,
it was very, very, very very.
Sorry, there's a delay.
Yeah, well, I know. I just wanted to say it's emotional to hear these things. So from that
Yeah.
moment, we got pulled into this kind of work. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually remember those days, and I remember the feeling, and it's kind of yeah, I feel that feeling that we all had back then right now, and it feels like wow, this was a really shocking and really intense time, and I remember those overwhelming emotions of both Ukrainians and people who came to help us. It was something unimaginably, new and unspeakable. And this is just, I don't know. I also super touched when I think about those days because that support, that ultimate support that we Ukrainians received by both our comrades, citizens, I mean, of Ukraine, and people from outside Ukraine, even more from people from other countries. This was something I don't know. It was really something touching us. So right now I'm holding myself not to cry a little to be honest.
No, I think it was for us a similar feeling. Of course, we didn't have the emotions from being in war, but when you saw the pain on those people, and a lot of people left other family members at home, and they told us the stories. I even saw somebody showed me a video from out of his apartment on the second floor. I don't know which city anymore, but he showed me the video that he wanted to leave his town also, but was afraid for the Russians who were in the town. So he was still waiting, and he was videoing outside. The car was stopped with two women and two children inside, and they just killed. And
Yeah.
when he was telling that and showing that, it was really on video. You could really see what happened. I cannot express the feeling that gave to us also, because we've seen so many such things and we heard so many such stories. I think that in the Western world, a lot of people, they do not really know how heavy this war is. They see actually a light version on TV. When I watch the news in the Netherlands and I see the video without sound. They don't let us hear the screaming of people. They don't show the bloody things. They show you they show you just a very light version of what's really happening, and that I
Yeah.
think is bad. People know what is happening. They should know how serious this war is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, unfortunately, you know how media works, that it wants people uh, to give them like softened information, like something light, so they
something
won't be
digestible, so
shocked,
yeah.
they won't be traumatized. Yeah, Judd, add
Yeah,
what you.
I was just gonna say it's so they tune in next time. You don't want to tune into a program that recently traumatized you, right?
Yeah. So people will come back to their media, and if they'll
Yeah.
constantly shock them and traumatize them, no one will come back there.
Exactly.
Unfortunately.
I do understand why they do it, but it does not make the people understand what is happening. I sometimes am in the Netherlands, and some people say, "Well, that war in Ukraine, it's only in a small part of Ukraine, and it's not that big," because they don't see how big it is. And what they do not understand is that Ukraine is not fighting for Ukraine. The Ukraine is fighting for the whole Western world.
Yes.
Our prime minister say the same thing last
Damn
week.
it.
Yeah, he says the same thing to Zelensky, that Ukraine fight for Europe.
Yeah.
And
Actually,
Ukraine.
guys, yeah, about Mark Rutte coming to Ukraine. I guess it's the second time for this year, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he was here the second time. Yeah.
It was January when he came first time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I don't know if it was January,
Yeah.
but I know it's the second time. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm really happy to see him again in Kiev, and I'm really glad that Netherlands kind of it seems to me that Netherlands, I may be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but Netherlands wasn't in such position. I mean, your officials wasn't in such a position in the beginning of this invasion. They were maybe a bit more like neutral and wasn't that fully on Ukraine side. Am I right? Or am
No, it's not.
well?
No, you're right.
No.
From the first second on, the Netherlands was absolutely strongly behind Ukraine. Also,
Oh.
per person living in the Netherlands, they did the highest donations. We had immediately in big TV programs to raise money, and the Dutch government was immediately very strong behind the Ukraine. They all the time tried to convince Germany and other countries to do
Yeah, I
more.
want to say that.
It's really like that.
That's a problem with you that everything goes by Brussels. Every decision about military stuff, tanks, they have to go through Brussels.
Yeah.
Maybe you think at the first moment we are not
Yeah.
providing the guns, but
no, I think they are in a difficult position, yes, because it's the whole of Europe. But no, really, Mark Rutte and all of the government, no, not all, but the biggest part of the government was directly talking that we need to do all the support. We also opened the doors for Ukrainian refugees very, very early. All the Ukrainians are welcome to come to our country. They don't need any specific documents. They only need to go to the town hall and say, here I am, I want to stay. And they get a place immediately where they can stay. And they get all the help. They get financial support. And that was very, very early like this.
Yeah.
And
That's awesome.
Okay,
also,
guys.
we felt it ourselves when we wanted some support. We wanted goods to give away, to food to give away.
Just give a call and
we get as much as we want.
Okay, guys, I have two things to say. First thing, I'm sorry that I just said that. But yeah, I know that you're behind us, that you have our back, and that you are supporting us. Like you provide one of the biggest support, I'm sure of it, during this war. It's a year past. And the second thing I want to notice and to point at is that we also have a huge media war going here and a huge Russian propaganda machine that is working in Ukraine and is targeting Ukrainian people too. And there's a lot of, fake news that were just injected into our media by Russians. Oh, the flag started falling off. The duct tape is not holding it well. But okay, I was saying that Russians were infiltrating some of their narratives into our news to show us that Netherlands somehow are okay, I need to translate this word. Really sorry. Here in these streams, we usually do some language pauses like this one.
Well, your English is very, very good, I have to be honest. Well,
It is really good, isn't it?
and that your English is very well, but really, it's amazing good.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. So hesitant, yeah. They were giving us the news, like Netherlands, like Germany. You know that Germany was hesitant in the beginning, like
very much, yeah.
Yeah. So they showed us like Netherlands are just like Germany, and we didn't know the truth. This is why you see how it worked. No, don't fall. You see,
what did they say about Holland? What name we get? What kind of name the Russian give us?
What did the Russians say about the Netherlands? You said that there's some infiltration in the news, in the media, and they spread some fake news.
Yeah.
And also fake news about the Netherlands.
So they were saying that you are like not on our side, but you want to, you want us to give our territories in exchange for peace, like something like that.
No, there is some people who think so. There's some people. There's some people who say, "What does it matter? This little bit, your country will be a little bit smaller. What does it matter?" But these people are not thinking. I'm sorry about it. They're not thinking really. What? How would you respond? Okay, you have a big house. Just give me 30% of your house, or something like that. It's not realistically. Also, it will not stop there. It might stop for a few weeks, for a few months, and they say, "Okay, nice, well done," and then they organize there, and then it's going to happen again. It's not, well, that's what I think. It's my personal opinion, and I think that over 90% of the Dutch people are fully behind Ukraine. And maybe it's 5% of the people who say, well, they are behind the Ukraine, but Ukraine could start to negotiate with Russia or something, blah, blah, blah. And a very, very few percentage, maybe it's 2% of the Dutch who really are either behind the Russians or do not have an opinion or something like that. But 9 out of 10 of those people are wrongly informed. Because if I speak with people, sometimes they also have an opinion. But if I explain what I see, or I show them some videos of the damaged houses, which are made by myself, this is not videos from the internet or something, and I explain them, then most of them turn around and they are more behind the Ukraine.
Nice. No, thank you for doing that, by the way, Frankie.
Yeah.
No, I think it's
very appreciated.
How can somebody not be behind the Ukraine if they know the full story?
Exactly.
I think it's not possible.
And it's just the truth, right? They gotta know the truth, and it's. I mean, all the doubts, all the Russian narratives are falling off their head just by themselves. When they just know the truth, they see the facts. And how can you be behind an invader, behind a terrorist, behind an aggressor? It's hard to imagine how people in the right mind could be behind that.
I would say it's not possible, but there's a lot of things which I do not understand. How can Russian young men shoot women and children? How, even if you could have told me all kind of stories or something, I also, when I was young, it would never be possible. Still, it's possible. It's happening.
Yeah,
it's really happening. I really don't get it.
We talk about early in the war. We talk about some people from Ukraine, from the news, and we asked them what is special about this war, and he said they shoot their own brothers. That it's Russian and Ukraine was before, brothers, and now they kill their own brothers in this war.
I had a message last week on my Facebook, and the message said something like this, like, you're going to Ukraine. Do you know that in Ukraine, you're not allowed to speak any other language than Ukrainian? If you speak English, you will go to jail. If you have a flag which is different with the Ukrainian one, so for example, the Dutch flag or something, you're going to jail. Do you know these kind of things? And then I see the Russian flag under it or something, and it's also like some kind of infiltration. It's not difficult. I just move away this message, but it's almost funny because I don't think that anybody would believe this. I mean, if you do some propaganda, do something which is believable, which
right.
Stupidity.
Yeah.
But you see, some people are still believing that.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, a lot of people lack critical thinking skills, so that tends to be the problem with a lot of this.
Well, you are in Canada, right?
Yeah.
How is in Canada opinion? Is it comparable with like I explained?
Very similar to what you're explaining. Whereas like the vast majority of people are in full support of Ukraine, and then you got the odd guy out of the bunch who just completely believes all the Russian propaganda, essentially, right? Which can be hard to deal with. But I say overall, we have a lot of support for Ukraine here. There's a lot of like Ukrainian people that live in Canada. I think we have the largest population of Ukrainians outside of Ukraine, right? So
okay,
so you see a lot. Like we have like Ukrainian churches and Ukrainian halls and stuff like all over the place in every city here. So there's just a lot of support because we all know Ukrainians. Like my best friend since I was in like grade school is ethnic Ukrainian. Like his family's from Ukraine. He grew up. He was born in Canada here, but his family's Ukrainian, right? So it's like most people that I know Ukrainians in some way. So we already have like a love for them and stuff before this war started.
Understandable. Yeah, so similar within the Netherlands.
Yeah.
There's a guy on the weekly markets in the Netherlands, and I actually liked this guy until some time ago. He was friendly always. And I'm not going often to the markets anymore in the Netherlands, but I was walking on the market, visiting some friends, and he was coming to me, "Hey, Frankie, yes, so you're going to Ukraine now? Yes. Why are you helping all those Nazis?"
Oh my God.
Really. But it's the one and only exception I ever met myself. I said, "What do you mean?" "Yeah, they're all Nazis. I don't look only to the Dutch news. I also follow international news, like Russian news."
Oh my God.
I said, "Okay, so they're all Nazis." "Yeah, they're all Nazis." So I asked him, "When was the last time you were in the Ukraine yourself?" "No, I haven't been in the Ukraine, but I'm not only watching the Dutch news." I said, "Well, I go to the Ukraine very often, and I was also in the history before." I said, "I until now never met anyone who I have the feeling that he could be a Nazi. I see them sometimes, maybe in the Netherlands, some people who are some kind of type that I could imagine to be them like that. I've never met anybody here who is
And the kind of ideas.
No. I don't say there is none. There probably is in every country in the world a few. I never met them. And Ukrainian people are friendly people. They are helping. If there's a problem, they always help. They are friendly. They're polite. They are actually kind of thinking similar, like we are thinking in our country. I don't see too much differences. They clothe a little bit different, and you see some differences maybe, but it's just in culture, but not something what is giving a bad feeling to anybody else. I think. And these people, they have an opinion without ever have. Maybe he has spoken to somebody from the Ukraine.
Probably.
I don't know. But that's the only person I met in this whole year who was telling me something in person. So I'm not talking about some messages on Facebook once in a while. Only person who was negative. The only one.
Yeah. And I was going to say also with my experience I've never met anyone in person who holds those beliefs of the whole like Ukraine's a bunch of Nazis or whatever. Like I see it online here in Canada sometimes. So that's like the odd guy that I was talking about when I was talking about it. But I've never actually met someone in person who says that kind of shit. So I don't know. That just goes to show it's probably less common even.
And probably the two which you see or online, probably 90% of them are based in Russia, and they are just
exactly.
Guys, and to finish this thought that I started about Russian narratives that they were given to Ukrainians and to the world in the beginning of war, I just noticed that they usually take the quote of someone of those 5 or 10% of your population who believe Russian propaganda and who will call us Nazis and stuff like that. And they just quote it like it's something that is really common there. That's their tactics. They usually try to show some marginal point of view as the widespread point of view. And like the overall thinking of a country. This is how they operate. So before you make conclusions, it's just gonna be a tip for all the people. Before you make conclusions about some news, you gotta check who said that, because people usually have some Russian background. It appears that they do after they say something like that. When you check that person, you see that they've been writing some articles about how good Russia is and how bad Ukraine is.
Yeah, or you look at who they're following on Twitter, and it's a bunch of
we noticed that some people write bad things about Ukraine are the same people. They have a big problem with COVID.
It's the say there's no COVID, it's not existing, or it's the same kind of people. They are just kicking to everything. So they are just taking always the other side, because I think they like to do it.
Yeah, they just like to be contrarians.
They get no attention that they are be seen, and in that moment there's a gap.
And they reach their goals sometimes, because also now we are talking about them.
Yeah,
so
correct.
They get some influence somehow.
Yeah, but yeah, fortunately, they don't have enough influence to stop some countries to provide us with help and to support us, and it's really what brings us, how do you, just another word to translate, just a second. Confidence. It brings us confidence that we're gonna win. That we're our friends won't leave us. All the democratic and free world will not leave us. You guys are by our side, and we can be sure that everything's gonna be all right. Because in the first like 5 to 6 months of war, we weren't sure. There was super uncertain period of that war, that we were torn apart by the doubts that all countries are going to abandon us. And Russian propaganda worked really hard and well. Actually, they've succeeded at some point for us, for our opinion, for our set of mind here in Ukraine, that we're everyone's just gonna abandon us, gonna sell us, trade us for Russia. But now, after a year, we see that there's no way that you guys gonna abandon us. And
for sure, the world is behind Ukraine.
But this is also actually when we started our mission. I mean, in the beginning it was giving food, but after that we saw that the food is important for some people. Some people are really hungry on some locations where we come. But we see that the most important thing is that they feel the support. We can really feel that from people who are coming on our stand. They get the food, and they are amazed that we travel with our food truck 4 days to get to the location, and that we give away the food. But they are amazed with the support. The food is nice. They like it, but they really love the support. It's really for them a great feeling. We see that sometimes. We had an old man in our stand, and he was already eating, so at first he didn't even notice. And then we have some kind of poster in our truck which says who we are and where we're from. And he was reading that, and he started to cry. Old man,
oh my God,
really coming from the Netherlands just to give us food, and he was crying. He was not crying because he was in a terrible position. He was crying. He had the emotions because he felt the support. And we see that every time, everywhere where we go, the people
start to sing.
Yeah, they start to sing in our stand.
How amazing is that?
Yeah, very often. God. That's very often. The militaries take off their badges, give us their badges. Like, that they really like what we're doing. They take off the badge and say, "Here, that's for you." And that's not because the fries or the snack. That's because they feel the support. And the support is the most important, I think.
A lot of people want to ask you. Meet some persons in Holland where I get goods from, some chupa chups and that sort of thing. And when they seen what I did on Facebook, and they gave a big hug. Thank you for supporting us.
We see it also in the financial support that we get. And actually, guys like you also should have financial support, because what you do, you spread. Like I see your videos on YouTube with the Russian soldiers. It's very good to show that. And I don't know how is your situation with your cost, but people should support you as well, because you're bringing a lot of information to people, real and solid information. We see it, what we got on support. I think that what you do is also very important. It's very great work.
Thank you, Frankie.
True.
And Koen. Thank you, guys. Actually, you maybe saw. Oh, you guys saw. Don't see me moving, right? I'm freezing for you, Frankie.
No, I just see a picture now.
Yeah.
I see we are moving for us, but you are not moving. Well, actually, if I watch on my phone, I
Well,
see you moving.
Yeah, great. And I wanted to tell you guys that when you were telling us the story about the guy who was crying, the old man, I really started crying a bit myself. My eyes got wet because I really feel this support, and I felt it yesterday. I'm gonna tell you a story also about yesterday. It's I'm gonna hold it for a bit, but I really feel that support, not even being directly there with you guys, but I've been in situation like this. And I really know how it feels. And in these moments, we really feel like you support us, you stand by our side, and it's really touching. I'm really touched right now. Thank you for sharing this. It gives a great perspective for the people. I'm sure of it. Thank you. I'm done here for a minute. Jet, can you take it from here?
Yeah, for sure. That's the one thing I was actually going to ask you guys about is financial support. Like, how are you guys getting your funding? Is it through like funding agencies or grassroots kind of stuff?
Actually, in the beginning, we started with our own money, but
Yeah.
it got picked up by the news. So the two guys with the food truck are going to the Ukraine.
Yeah,
That was also news.
first Ukraine border.
Yeah, to the Ukraine border, and that was news also in the Netherlands. So we went on a very famous TV show. That's how it started. And to be honest, that first evening, something like serious money came in one evening just by telling the story. They showed videos of what we do,
Yeah.
and then you see the people in a row, maybe 50 or 100 meters of people in a row, waiting for their fries, and they see the emotions from the people, and they see that the people were happy with us. That was news, came in the news, and so we got support. After second or third trip, again we were in a TV show and big in the newspapers. Actually, in the Netherlands, we have been in nearly all talk shows. So that
And every newspaper.
that makes funds, because then people notice you. Like well, if you're in the news, then you have the chance to get money, and we also have more money now than we can use for frying fries. And that's also why we do other things. We bought generators, which we give away. We are busy now with a warm location in Gostomel where people can warm themselves up. We had the chance to give a donation for operation room in Kiev, and several
If
things.
it gets one big thing, we have been to a house where children from 7 to 5 years old stay there. They have no parents, and they're mentally or physical ill, and we support them 2 times with fries. But now we support them also with money to buy a new car, on a new bus.
That's not that we support them. We don't see it like that, but our supporters support them, and we just give it through, because it's not a difficult thing. If you have the budget, you can do that. They need a van to bring the children from one location to another. They had a van before, but it was not theirs. It was from local government, something like that, and it has been taken away because it was necessary for the military. So we had the chance to help there as well, and that's because of the donations. Only because of the donations, and the donations only come because we were in the news.
That's amazing. Well, it's really cool to hear that, like, the media in your country is getting behind people like you on missions like that. Like, because like you said, I guess without everybody being aware of you guys, they don't know you exist. They don't know what you're doing. They can't help you fund everything, right? So that is really amazing to hear, and it's really cool to hear that the media, just in general, in your guys' country, is taking you guys under their wing and exposing the story so everybody can get involved. It's good.
Yeah,
they help a lot. Yeah.
If people want to see what we do and did before, they can go to our website, Franking Koen Into the Bridge.
Oh, cool.
And they can find everything what we did, pictures, movies.
Oh, somehow, actually, guys, I used your tag in the description, your handle, your YouTube handle in the description, but it didn't work as a link somehow. I don't know why.
I'm gonna link the website in the chat.
Not that important. well, I will just mention one time, Frankie and Koen.nl. But we have a lot of support. But if people want to see the videos of what we do, because we start working again from Tuesday. Tomorrow will be a traveling day. We are now in Rivne, and we will go tomorrow to Fastiv to pick up our food truck. Then we go to Bucha area, and we will work 4 days in that area. We will do fast food there, and we will make every day, we make a video and we place it on Facebook so people can see what we do.
That's
After
awesome.
those 4 days, we don't know where we go yet. It's depending on the situation.
This is great. I'll make sure to put all the links to your Reddit also, right? To your Facebook.
Yeah, thank you.
To your
in our messages.
Yeah, to your YouTube. I'm gonna put all the links there. So guys, everyone who's gonna be watching this in recording, all the links gonna be there in description. Thank you. And also what? Also, I wanted to now address all the viewers for a bit. Sorry that we're not reading the chat today, guys. You all understand that, I'm sure of that. And thank you once again for being here. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for all the likes you've already given to this video, to this stream. And if you haven't yet, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. Okay, just a little remark. Yeah, and if you want to share this link to the stream with your friends and family, it's also be appreciated. It will also be appreciated, and that's the way to spread the word and spread this stream. Okay, so guys, let's get back to what you do. I had a question about Izum, and I wanted to ask you, what have you seen there, and what was the biggest thing, like the most remembered thing that touched you or just impressed you? I'm really curious about that point of your journey.
Yeah, well, I didn't see too much because I was ill in bed in these days. But Koen has been there, so he can explain what he did see there.
Exactly, were 2 moments. To bake French fries with people, when you're baking, you don't see only the people. But when I drive to Izum and to drive in the city, there was not one building not damaged from the war. Not one. And that touched me. And in the video we have online, that said also loud, every building was damaged. And the other part was when I drive away, there was not one light, no person on the street. It was like a town where,
like a ghost town?
Yeah, there was nothing.
Crazy.
There are people living, but because I worked my ass off that day, I tried about 300 kilos of French fries and a snack. And I had 2 persons with me. He was ill. There's 2 nice ladies that helped me. That city was really, really. There was nothing. Like everything was dead. There were people, of course, that lived there, but there was no light. And you see also around the city there are signs. There are still mines next to the road. Yeah.
But also in Bucha, Moshun, there's almost no building standing anymore. In Irpin, I think 60-70% of the houses are damaged. People cannot imagine. And when we drive through, then you see houses, for example, you see they are completely burned. They are hit by rocket or bombs. I'm not sure. But you see, for example, in front of the house, you see also that the car is burned. And that means that probably these people were at home. I don't think that there's a car standing if people are throwing away. The first thing you take is your car. And that happens so many things. We hear stories in Borodyanka. There was a woman telling us she was in those flats which are completely destroyed, and she was in the part which is still standing. And she was telling that people were trying to flee away when the rocket came in. The first rocket came in 20 past 8. 10 minutes later came a second rocket in the same buildings. And the people tried to run away. They've been shot. They've been driven over by tanks. People cannot imagine how if you hear the stories from these people. And you cannot imagine how it looks. All those destroyed buildings. It's terrible. It's really terrible.
It's really, I would say that, like animals, they are just killing people for nothing.
Yes.
They're people.
And they don't try to hit civilians. Absolutely, they are hitting civilians. If you look in Bucha area, there's so many houses and apartments destroyed. More, biggest part of the things that are destroyed are the houses from the people. They are absolutely targeting people. Also, people who run away. How can you kill people who are running away? It's unbelievable.
I also wanted to add that these animals are killing people sometimes even for fun. They having fun killing people.
I saw a video on I don't know where I saw it, but I saw a video of soldiers. They asking Ukrainian men to come. The Ukrainian man comes. They ask for a cigarette, and they let the man go. They call him back again. They let him go. They call him back again. This 5 or 6 times, and the last time they shoot him in the back.
Yeah,
I saw this video. It's
I saw it. I saw that video. They shoot him in the back just after they took a cigarette from that man. How damn! It's really hard to imagine what Russians really are when you see situations like this. The behavior, the animalism, if such a word exists.
Just evil, man. Evil.
It's evil. It's complete evil, and we also need to call them Russians. I mean, I've heard an opinion that calling them orcs kind of gives their part of their responsibility away. When we call them orcs, we kind of like taking some mythical creatures.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'm of that opinion as well. I don't think they should be dehumanized in the way that, like, because that's like essentially their tactic. Like, that's how they can, I don't know, like, get over the mental hurdle of the evils they're doing is by dehumanizing Ukrainians, right? Like, and I don't think it's good for us to dehumanize Russian soldiers because, like you said, it takes away their responsibility as a human being on this fucking planet, right? Yeah. So when we start calling them animals or orcs or whatever, it's just, it strips them of their responsibility of being a fucking human, and that's what they are.
Yes.
Yeah, then they are allowed to. You mean?
Yeah.
If they are animals, then they are allowed to act like animals. But because I don't think that normal people do this.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just it's just a new kind of beings. Well, not animals, not human. They are Russians. They are different from both. Different from both, and we just have to face it, and we have to defeat it. Defeat these beings, and their regime. And it's something that we can only do united, and we are united. And these days, I'm 100% sure that we will stay united and that we'll be victorious. And I'm really another word to translate, just a second. Inspired these days.